Marco,
Sean,
here we are. It's the new
here we are
year.
again. Here we are again on our own.
And again and again and again. It's just me and you and me.
Like the old time, man.
like something we did last year. I don't remember what it was.
I don't know. We've done a lot of
Yeah,
things.
I know.
I have
It's been
done. Do you
been
know
an
how many
interesting year.
Do you know how many podcasts you've done?
In the last year, I don't know. I think I'm approaching 300.
Oh wow,
Uh, yeah, which doesn't include all the SoundCloud stuff, by the way. That we
that's
left
true.
all the old stuff we left behind.
Well, that was our I don't know, our testing period, and we actually got our feet wet, and we realized that we did like to be on camera, even if at the time we were not on camera. We were mostly just the radio voice podcast, and then we decided that we liked it, and yeah, we've done quite a bit. Uh,
Well, somebody likes it anyway. I don't know if it's about me or you or.
I like it. My mom like it. So
There you
even
go.
if she doesn't understand what we said,
Luca
uh,
likes it.
Luca, my dogs like it. Yeah, for sure. That's something. But anyway, listen, we're back, and I know we've tried a few times last year, but last year was 2023, and it was last year. But this year, 2024, we have a ton of plan. We're committed to make this short video live when possible, as we are right now. Every week, we call it a weekly update. Roll of
I
drum.
think I think
How
I
original
think
is that?
I think the weekly is probably the level of commitment. I don't know if it'll be which day or what time. Can't commit to that, but weekly we can try to do.
And you know what? It'll be the average because when we are on location, like RSA conference, Info Security London, probably VivaTech Paris, and some other event, it will be daily, maybe even more than one time a day. And so if we skip a couple of weeks, I think,
We make up for it.
make it even.
We load them all up in one day. Nice one.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Anyway,
what's going on this week? That's the big question.
I, this week we've started this week a long time ago.
A long time ago.
We have a working in perfectly working condition time machine, and so we played this week already, and we will
We
play
did.
it again in
November
the
20th
future.
we started this week. I look back.
Yeah, but is the week of what? Is the week of CES in Las Vegas,
Yes. Consumer
and
Electronics Show in Vegas.
yep, yep. How many conversation we had about that one?
Let's see. One, two,
I
three,
think
four, five,
nine,
six, seven,
eight,
eight,
nine.
nine. Yes, nine. Nine is the magic number. We have
It
four
is.
more. I think five maybe lined up. Five
Yep.
more, which is really cool.
Yep.
All the
So
future of society. We could say future of technology, but really it's the future of society.
yeah, I want to talk a little bit about that before we make a list of the conversation that we already had and the one that we will have. Uh, we were committed to cover CS because it's that right there, especially when it comes to my show, Redefining Society, where I muse about technology and society. There is no better place and no better time than the beginning of the year and Las Vegas to look into the future because the truth is that you go there now. It's the 100th year, by the way, this year for CS, and it's not what it was. Not anymore about TV and cool gadget and radio back in the days when they started. I think actually the word radio wasn't the original name, and not about the Walkman, the stereos, and the phones. It's about everything. I mean, we were. I didn't even know what to pick amongst all
It's
the
it's those
speakers we had.
things, the modern versions of those and more. Right? Tractors and robots and tons of software and yeah,
Space, food, health,
space,
and all of
food.
that.
Yep.
And so, right in line with the conversation that we have, especially also, let's include security because you have to throw that in there, or we're not doing our job correctly, especially your job with your
Exactly.
podcast.
My job.
Yeah, and just a quick touch on the history that made me think about the World Expo, the World's Fair that started all the way back. I'm reading in Prague in 1791. It was what it was considered a first world fair in the Czech Republic at the time, Bohemia. And at the time, then it started to be during then the Industrial Revolution, and it was a way to display the technological advancement of a nation. So we know the one in Chicago, the one in Paris, the one in New York, and that's where people were showing Edison and Westingate and Tesla were competing about, what was the best way to give electricity to the cities, and it was the future coming together. It was kind of scary for people to start seeing cars and all that kind of stuff. And maybe, Sean, it's a little bit scary nowadays for people to go there because AI.
That's right. I remember the one in Blythe, the World Fair in Blythe, Arizona. Blythe,
Yeah.
California? I don't remember. I don't even know where it is. I'm joking, of course. No, I think you're spot on with some people might be freaked out with some of the things happening. I was thinking the other day, if my grandmother was alive, God rest her soul, what would she think of all this stuff that we're all faced with, right? It's not just new ways to watch television or new shows on radios, and and not just the internet, which she did get to experience, of course, but self-driving cars and drones and robots making food and serving food, and I mean, I can go on and on, but I don't know. She might freak out about some of it.
And some people, I'm sure they are, and some other people may decide not to care because it's a little bit too much until the day that either you care or you don't. You end up using this stuff, and that's another conversation, for example, that I had with many people. For example, let's get into the conversation we had. Some of them, the president of the American Medical Association, we were talking about the future is delivering value. It's a value-based kind of healthcare that technology, data can bring to the table, where you don't need to go to the office doctor all the time anymore. We're looking at maybe being able to do some tests at home. We're able to, through the pandemic, to have visits at home. But it comes to, look, the truth is we've been using AI already for a few years. It wasn't the blinking light, the exciting part that you can have now because you have an app on your phone, but for accountability, for administration, for a lot of things, the aerospace industry, of course, the flying. I mean, AI has been helping us to fly safely for a very long time. So it's happening, either you like it or not. And either you decide to go to the fair, in Coney Island or wherever that is.
That's right.
You're using it, either you like it or not.
Yep.
Any conversations, Sean, that kind of
well, I want
in your head?
Well, I want to go from there because I think we've talked about this a number of times, and we had a great conversation with Brian Comiskey from CTA.
He's coming back.
He's going to come back with a recap as well. I'm excited for that. And the thing that struck me, and he's a futurist, right? So he gets to look at, he's the director of thematic programs at the conference. So he gets to figure out, well, what's the stuff coming that we want to bring to the show to share with folks. And with that, he has to kind of figure out, well, what's coming, right? What's possible. And the thing that we have talked about quite a bit is what's possible because of all the parts that we can now create a bigger solution that wasn't possible years ago. So some of, like you said, we could fly with AI, but AI has gotten to a point now where we can do so much more, and that with great software capabilities and even some new hardware capabilities, we can create other things that don't even include humans doing it for us, right? So I think that conversation really struck me in terms of what's possible because of all the parts, and Brian has a really cool job. That's all I have to say. He gets to look at that future and figure out where things are headed and help bring some of that to us.
Yep. As a matter of fact, talking about a really good job, I did apply during my podcast. You were not there, but I had it was really cool, and she's coming back as well with exploring the future of entertainment and media with Leslie Shannon, which is head of trend and innovation scooting at Nokia, talking about another cool job that I said, if you need help, let me know. And she say, well, join the queue and the line because there is a long way. But yeah, the inflection point, meaning she brought this example of how the internet took a while to happen at a commercial level, that everybody was connected because the infrastructure wasn't there. You had to build the infrastructure, which is, by the way, what Nokia does. And when AI showed up a year ago, it seems 20 years ago, but a year ago, with access to everyone with the chat GPT, you ended up billion of people already trying it because it was already there. So the fact, as you say, that one technology then connect another piece of technology and another piece of technology and all come together. So something to think about. And that's probably one of the reasons why now things are so much faster, because we have a solid base to digital base to work on.
Well, the other thing that comes to mind as you describe that, kind of the infrastructure and the guts of things working, you can now turn your attention from getting stuff to work to what are the outcomes we want to achieve. And there was another conversation we had with Gorka Chaco from WePo, talking about smart cities. And if I say the word smart city, people probably think technologies in government, technologies in municipal services. And yes, it's those. But what Gorka talked about was those delivered and managed in a way that we, as humans living in that environment, in that smart city, have a better life, a better health outcome. And so looking at the data, looking at the systems, tuning them, tweaking them, not just to make government better, but to make our lives better and help us live a more healthier life. So I think it's really cool that we can make that switch now, because it's always a question of, are we doing it because we can, or what's the why behind all of these technologies? So it was a great conversation.
Yeah, and to go back to Brian about the thematic, the conversation that I want to have when he comes back on the show, it's really, it's like, how do you choose this topic? And now you choose this topic, most of them because of the social impact. So, as you say, way to make our life as citizen better, and not just fun and entertaining.
Exactly.
And
well, the biggest impact to me is in my tummy.
The three
and
you stuck with
the 3D robotic
pizzaiolo?
chef. 3D robotic chef. I'm stuck on that one.
You're stuck with that one. We're gonna have to try it one time. That was a good conversation as well.
It was.
And also understanding that it's really not printing food; it's just relayering. That was something interesting, where you shape and layer something. But even there, the application of how you could choose the perfect ingredient and the nutrients that you need if you have certain specific need and you have some condition that you want to have that perfect balanced meal for you, which brings to the next thing, which is personalization. That's another thing that came out quite a bit. Personalization, personalized healthcare, personalized finance, personalized this and personalized that. And that's probably what we're going to look a lot in the future. But because we need to stick to the 15 minutes that we're getting there, Sean, we have 4 more, you said maybe more conversation coming up.
Yeah.
I say let's make a list so we can
2 or 3 are recaps.
tease.
So I'm gonna highlight the 2 that aren't recaps. So we have Chief Medical Officer from the Ad Council and the Undersecretary for Science and Technology, DHS, joining us
awesome.
to kind of give us their view of the event. But we have 2 specific conversations, one around privacy with Kate Barecchia from Imperva, and we have you got to get to these places to experience all these new technologies. So hopefully we have a nice brand new shiny way of getting around. So the future of intelligent transportation. We have Karen Lightman on, Executive Director from Metro 21, and also Carnegie Mellon University. So I think those 2 conversations are going to be amazing. So CES
But
event on
also,
ITSP Magazine.
I have
Yep.
to say something on my side,
All right.
which is DJ Pereira, which is the Chief Media Officer at the Ad Council. As you all know, I love advertisement and branding, and so I like to see how technology is going into all the digital marketing, which we also love to do here on ITSP Magazine and content. And I don't know, many more probably coming up. So it's a coverage that never ends, and this is, I think, the promise that we're doing, and not only a promise, but something that gets me really excited to travel with you, Sean, again, go on location, go
Yes.
in places we've already been and places that are new. So RSA conference, San Francisco, it's in the book, and we're already planning for that. And then we're going to go to, well, we'll cover in the Space Symposium too, but we're not probably going to be there in person. But where we're going is going to be London again, Info Security, and probably Paris for Viva Tech, which is the CES of Europe. And I'm really excited about that one.
Yep. Super cool.
We will be there. We hope you will be there, people listening and sharing.
Or be here. If you can't be there, be here.
We'll try to bring it to you. Or like
We'll
in this case, we're not even there ourselves. We have other people come and tell us the story because we can't be everywhere. But we'll try to do our best. We'll try to do our best to do these every week. Maybe. We're not going to let you know when. So you'll have to stay tuned. And then we'll put the recap.
You'll just see it show up.
Yep, we'll recap it in the newsletter. And talking about newsletter, last thing, Sean has a really cool newsletter on Redefining Cybersecurity podcast. He goes a little nuts with AI. He has a really cool story read by AI for you. I try to do the same with the Redefining Society. So it's a good opportunity.
Yours is cool too.
What we're doing. Yeah.
Yours is very creative. And I've stuck to that weekly cadence, which is, I've impressed myself, if I have to say. But all kinds of wacky stuff coming out of there. I'm working on another one that I think everybody's going to like. Of course, we both get help
close
from,
with a teaser on that one. Close with a teaser on that one.
All right, the teaser is
what's in your
CISOs. CISOs have an opportunity to learn from a ton of different functions in the business. So what are those things they can learn? Tape 3 helped me interview some other roles to get their best practice and how the CISO can apply it. So that's coming.
Your
Saturday.
AI, your generative AI help you to do interview.
Tape 3 helped me create this story.
All right. A lot of exciting things. Everybody stay tuned. We're already 3 minutes out of that because we love to talk. We talk way too much, but we're going to keep it.
Stop.
We can keep it in the 15 minutes every time that we can. Stay tuned, subscribe to our YouTube channel, to our podcast, and of course, stay tuned for our coverage. In this case, CS, check the page. It's right there under event and coverage on ITSP Magazine. This is it. We're out. See ya. Peace. You